Hello, this is Easy A Younger here. I'm going to help you get an A for the day in animation. With this video, I'm going to show you guys how to change the collision so you can use your assets you've built for your land for your theme park or video game from Maya. So right now we've exported our object, our asset from Maya as an FBX. First off, again, I always say try to scale it to where you're going to be walking. If you need a huge space, I would also duplicate your landscape and make this bigger. So you can either duplicate this or just make it bigger. So you have a coated ground plane that you can make sure you walk in and you don't fall off. Now in other videos, we will go over more coding that you can change things so you can fly, jump. If you fall off a ledge, you can reboot. But right now, with this lesson, we're just trying to make it so you can walk around your theme park land. So I'm going to click on this land, double click on it, and again, it's the same buttons as Maya with the scale tool, the move tool. So I'm going to go ahead and press W and move it. E and R are your hotkeys. So W is for move, E is for rotate, R for scale. Just be careful you don't go through the ground too, because that can cause issues. So just make sure you're a little bit above it. And again, we're using a template. When you're making your own game, you can change different codes and how things work, but we're using some pre-made stuff. So right now the collision won't work. So if we press play, our character will not be able to function. See, it pushes them right off the game because our object is a square. There's a cube behind it when it comes to collision. So right now, it does not understand that you want to walk on these different things. So we want to change the collisions so it matches the mesh. So I'm going to go ahead and press F to frame our scene here. All right, so what we need to do, guys, we need to change our game mode. So right now we're in selection mode, so you can select things and play. We're gonna come down to where it says modeling. Right here, you're gonna come down to where it says attributes. So again, changes to modeling mode, attributes, and you're gonna see the option right here at the very bottom says mesh to collision. It's gonna show you that right now it's a box, so that's why we get pushed off of it. But if we come to here where it says set collision type and you just change it to use complex as simple. So what you're saying is you're going to use a complex mesh as a simple collision. And we're going to go ahead and press accept to save it. Now let's press play and see what happens. Boom. So now we can walk around our theme park and look at our settings. Now, depending on how your meshes are, we were actually loaded inside a mountaintop. So that's what I was saying. We got to be careful where our load screen is and how we're playing. We might be stuck inside that mountain right now because of the mesh. And we are. So that's also why you want to pay attention to where your game loads in at too. So your character and everything. So just make sure, depending on where your character is loading in at, you don't want to load them inside a mountaintop or something like that. So just make sure that you select your controller where you're starting off at, or just make sure you put your landscape where it's not going to affect your gameplay. So right now there's where our controller is. So I just want to make sure it's not loading into a mountaintop because otherwise it's not going to work. So let's see here. Let's press play now. I think I escaped the mountain. I didn't. I'm still in the mountain. Sorry about that, folks. So here's the controller. So now that I can see it from this view vantage point, I'm going to press F to frame it. I'm going to make sure we're well outside that mountain. If it just says bad size, it means we're probably going through the asset or it's too small for the scale. So you can always scale this too. All right, let's press play. All right, so now we made outside the mountain. You guys can see I can walk around. I'll say this is a really cool way when you're educating or instructing, you can look at kids' models because you're like, wait, that's not going where there was. Now, when I first made this asset, there was a hill there, so that's gone. Some hills you're going to be able to run up and jump depending on how steep the incline is. Because you see the incline on this is really steep. So this is where you can also be like, all right, if you want kids to run up a hill, you might want to change the incline, how thick and how high that mountain goes, because you got to think a person has to be able to walk up that. You can also look at your mascots and like your statues and all that stuff. But this makes it really cool for the presentation side, where it's if you're showing off your theme park and the students want to show off their ride, their restaurant, You as an educator can bring every student's objects into this and make it so you have the whole park that you've created as a class together, or again, you can keep it where it's individual parts of the theme park that the students put together. But this just makes it really cool for the presentation side. You can render this out as a video, which I will be making a video on how to render out a video. So you just gotta make a camera and you can animate how long you want with that camera, and then you can render that out as a video. So there's a lot of options with this. You can always just do screen record like I'm doing right now and just screen record walking around your theme park if you just want to showcase the area so the kids can show off like this is where the restaurant is, this is the ride, this is, all those fun things. Now, as you guys can see, the one thing that didn't transfer through the Maya is the textures, and I will make another video on that too so you can show. It's because opacity doesn't convert, so you just have to change the opacity inside of Unreal. So you guys see it brought my textures over, but it didn't change the opacity. So that's why my water is the color it is and it's not see-through. But there is a way to change it, and it brought all those textures over. So as long as I know my names, I can do it. So another video, I'll go over that too. So I will make a video on how to render an animation video. So again, you can render this out as a video. I'm also going to go over another video on how to adjust textures that have been converted as two. So again, I hope you had a fun time getting an A for the day. Hope this is awesome. You guys can put all your Maya models together and make a presentation for a video game. And again, I will be updating you guys some more on some more videos, some more tutorials on how to change the textures a little bit more for opacity, how to make that animated video so you can make a 3D rendered video. And again, you can always just do a screen recording option too if you just want to screen record your game. Again, Easy A Younger, hope you had an A for the day. Animate out. Congratulations, animators. Keep up the great work. And I can't wait to see what kind of stuff you guys create.